What I do is encourage people to follow their own path in cooking. It doesn't have to be so structured. It can be a traditional recipe, but you can always transform it, touch it, or make it your own. So you don't have to always follow the cliche.
Welcome to a new episode of Most Memorable Journeys. This is a very special episode because it's one of the rare episodes that are actually recorded live. Normally I record on Zoom because people are all over the world, but this one is not only live, but it's with a glass of wine. I am talking to a restaurant explorer, cooking addict, culinary influencer, food traveler, food photographer, and last but not least, a very good friend. Welcome to Most Memorable Journeys, Christiana, Sykopetritis, Kyriakides. Both names are important, aren't they?
Hello, Elizabeth, and welcome to my home for a live face-to-face podcast. This is lovely. Welcome with a glass of wine, and I'm ready to explore with you why I belong to your podcast guests.
And why it took so long until you became my guest, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It needed to mature.
It's fine. I have to say thank you because it's an honor to be part of your podcast. You've hosted so many important people that I am really, truly honored to be one of your guests.
You deserve to be here. Now, the second last live recording was with coffee, not with wine. And it was probably the episode that had the most downloads. And it was Adamos Marneros, the last pilot who landed at Nicosia Airport. So he was a local, you're a local, we're in Cyprus. You are a global restaurant visitor. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover. Where do we begin? I want to begin because I know that you are prepared for all these subjects. But
I'm prepared for many subjects to elaborate with you. But let's hear how you like to speak.
I have another question. When did you realize that you liked cooking?
Okay, that's a great question because when I left Limassol to go to my studies in London, I was 17 and a half years old. I was very young. And I was tossed from a humble Limassol of the 80s into the London of the 80s, where all these supermarkets and food halls and restaurants were there for me to jump in and explore. And for me, it was a Disneyland. It was thrilling to be there. So my interest in cooking sort of started in the family with my aunts and my mom and my grandma. But when I went there, the availability of the ingredients and the many things triggered my cooking passion. Mainly, I think the supply, the great supply. And I started cooking for the house. And then I realized that London was full of restaurants. And as I said, I was only 18 years old. And exploring the restaurants was another impressive step into my young life. And that's how it started.
This is so interesting because I came to Cyprus in the 80s. And I remember that there were many things that were not available here.
Yes.
You couldn't get certain things. And I remember the first fascinating supermarket that opened was Metro in Larnaca.
Yes.
It was like what you felt when you went in a supermarket in England is what I felt when I went into Metro in Larnaca, because suddenly I got all this stuff. But did you cook at home? Did you cook with it?
Yes, I did cook, and I liked it as an experiment. I was just improvising, and with all these ingredients at hand, I was very excited to do my own stuff, which I still do. I improvise a lot. I don't count. I don't measure. I don't care much about grams and things. If you see, I'm not the Paul Bocuse, I'm more like Jamie Oliver type of cook, which is fine. Everything turns out very rustic and easygoing, and everybody can follow my recipes, which is very important to relate to young cooks or amateur cooks or people who think they can't cook and then follow a recipe and they do it. And it's a great achievement for me as well.
But you agree with me that in a house where people cook, like you said, your mom or your aunts or her friends, it does have an effect on your children, doesn't it? It does wear off.
Yes, it's kind of an inspiration, not much of an obligation, which might have been, but for me, it was more like an inspiration and a fun way to copy them at first. And then succeeding gives you more acceleration to continue what you're doing.
Yes, and I believe that cooking and sitting together and eating together is an event.
Yes,
It's a healing. It can be a very healing experience as well. And I think cooking together can also be very, I need to find the right word. I wanted to say sexy, but I wanted another sensual.
Sensual, yes. It's a bit sassy as well. Yes. I've tried a few cooker classes with friends. We shared some fun moments over the pots and the cutting and cooking, and it was fun. It's fun, and it provokes emotions that you cannot otherwise experience. Food is an emotion itself. And not as much as the food as a result, but as a process. The process of dining and the process of cooking gives you broadens horizons, especially dining out and traveling for food, traveling for restaurants. That's the next subject.
We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah.
But you said something else. You said that there are people who think that they can cook. Do you agree with me that everybody can cook if they try? I mean, don't have to become, I don't know what.
It's a good question. I'm not sure. Yes, everybody can cook if they want to. Whether something comes out bad or medium, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be something spectacular or edible to a degree of a high-class restaurant. But a family meal, I think the worst you can cook is the best you can buy a takeaway. As I always say.
Yes, and that is so true. And that is something that has gotten lost, even in this beautiful country of Cyprus, where we have the famous Mediterranean diet, which is so healthy. And what really shocked me during the pandemic, when I used to walk around, the hour that we were allowed to walk around, all I saw was delivery bikes from fast food places.
Yes, that's a shame. But I noticed that young people are now turning away from the fast food, maybe even because of the financial reasons, but mainly because they understand the harm. They understand the lack of intimacy and quality. So they try to cook at least even the basic. And I love it when young people, girls and boys, I have to say that, send me a message or call me to clarify a point for my recipe or ask me a question of the method. This is very rewarding, and it's very encouraging to see young people getting into cooking their own meals.
Very true. I think it's you said something that I really like now, and you said that even a not so perfectly cooked meal at home is better than a takeaway.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. I mean, we have fantastic takeaways, don't take it wrong, but it was the way to portray the message I wanted to send.
It's true, because
it's worth the effort.
There's always too much sugar. There's always too many things in processed
Exactly. At least you know what you're doing.
Yeah. You know what's in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
So let's get to those points that we have mentioned here. Restaurant explorer. And I know, I follow you, and it's very important to mention here, you have a very big Instagram following. You have an Instagram account called My Chic Dish. I want to know how this name started.
All about that. My Chic Dish, it's the name I am mocking myself with. That everything is so chic, the places I go, the recipes I cook, this ingredient, maybe a humble lentil soup or something is chic. It's a way of joking and provoking followers to follow and understand what I'm doing. It started off a long time before Instagram. When I was traveling, as I said, I went for the first time to New York. And I know you like to go to that subject. When I was 20 years old, again from Cyprus and London, I traveled to New York. And the first thing I was interested in, which is happening in all the cities I visit, is most probably to find which is the best or the nicest or the local restaurant in town so I can visit. I don't care much about museums. I do, of course, but not as much as finding the restaurant that will, make me excited. And in New York, I remember back again in the 90s, there was this revolving restaurant at the top of a skyscraper that took an hour to go around, and you could see all of New York while dining. And I was 20 years old from humble Limassol, and I was so impressed to see this thing and live this experience that since then, restaurants became a fascination. And I'm trying until now to, okay, back then, of course, we didn't have cell phones. We never took photos of food or places. But when that started, I used to go somewhere and took photos of the plates, of the dishes, of the food. And that kind of made me be interested in food photography as well, because the more you do that, the more better it gets. So my daughter said, "Why don't you do an Instagram page?" And I said, "What is Instagram?" And she described it, and she explained that it's a place where you can see and upload photos mainly. And you choose the field that you like, and you can explore and deep into that field. And I did. I did this page. I named it My Chic Dish. I started posting photos, and then people start asking me to upload the recipes, which I mainly do, unless I travel and I just post photos from restaurants or supermarkets, food halls, you name it, anything to do with food.
But how did you find those restaurants before the internet?
I will tell you how. Do you remember those little books? Of course you do, because you were a tour guide. They were called Berlitz.
Yes, of course.
So in every city we were supposed to travel, I used to go and buy Berlitz from the bookshop and explore it and read about it. But it was a bit of a cliche, like the typical places, the touristy places that you might not want to go to. So the best way to find is to ask the locals. And when I say the locals, it doesn't have to be the concierge of the hotel. It could be a salesperson in a shop, or a person you meet on the street, or somebody you know looks like he or she
likes to eat.
He likes to eat and knows places, hidden places, not touristy places.
So, because I notice, and I always stalk you, of course, when you go on, because you go on some beautiful trips and you do choose good restaurants. Does it always work? I mean, you find them now, obviously now you find them on the internet.
Yes, I do a lot of preparation, and some are spontaneously found as well. And I have to say it works. 95% it works, because I'm not very fussy. It's not sometimes so much about the food. It doesn't have to be the perfect Michelin star place. It can be a tavern, an inn, a little cozy trattoria, or a Swiss chalet type of restaurant. It can be anything, as long as it's interesting in a multi way, not just the food. It has to be many things to attract me and make a food report or a place report, as I said.
It's the experience, the whole experience, the place, the food,
exactly.
Yeah. And who eats sometimes, because we had dinner together in New York, in Balthasar, and we were hoping, because I know that Balthasar is the place where Anna Wintour and Roger Federer go to together, but we were hoping to see them. They weren't there.
They missed out. Yeah. They weren't there. But yes, I know. I like hip places, very trendy places, obviously work well, because you get to see these people and you say, if they're there, it has to be something. But also unsuspected places are very attractive. It depends on what you're after. And that comes to my traveling, which lately has become more frequent because of you. I have to make a little parenthesis here and say to this traveling most memorable journeys podcast that you made it possible for me through hypnotism and through helping me get rid of my fear of flying. So since 2016, I'm a more frequent flyer than anyone could ever be. And I do that. And I go to so many restaurants and so many culinary places, shall we say.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much for saying that.
Of course.
This is it's really not necessary to have fear of flying. It can be removed, but that's another story.
It's removed, and I'm glad it is removed, because I can now go anywhere comfortably, no stress, just focus on the destination and explore places like restaurants and eateries and everything, and forget about everything else.
Now, coming back to the Instagram Instagram account,
yes,
it also gave you a few opportunities because you write in a magazine.
Yes. Apparently it's been noticed, although I'm a micro influencer. I don't have thousands and thousands of followers, but about 6,000 are enough to be the real people that I want them to understand what I do. And I've been noticed, and I've been given the opportunity to have my own page in a cookery weekly magazine, which is a free page to upload whatever I like. I usually upload my own improvisational recipes and give a little introduction, like a little article where I write more like a social column. It's not just food, it's a little bit of maybe induce a travel story or a background of the food I'm cooking and give a little history, like a small Wikipedia introduction.
Yeah, and I think people like that. And I sometimes look at your stuff and I see that you do this very thoroughly. You take pictures from the beginning. You have a picture of the first, of the,
Yes.
how it starts, and then before a little more, and then before it goes in the oven, and then it comes out of the oven. And I sometimes think, what if she forgets to take a picture at the beginning and she realizes only when...
I do many times forget to take pictures, which is fine. But the more you take, the more you keep people engaged, because sometimes people are bored or don't bother to read the recipe. But when they see it, as I call it, a visual recipe, is so much easier to connect and go and make it. It's very easy.
People, I mean, they say the eye eats. Well, I don't know. It's in German.
Yes.
It's you don't just eat with your. You use all the senses.
Exactly. But the first is the eyes.
Yes.
First,
yeah.
Eyesight. You see what you see, and then you decide your other senses want to follow.
Yeah.
Whether you want to eat it or smell it or taste it. Food is a science. It's a huge science that I'm very proud to explore to the extent, to my own extent. But it's always so fascinating. It never stops. It always evolves. Things change. I mean, over the years, I can see how the recipes change, how the approach from world-renowned chefs change. It's an evolving industry. It's an evolving science. And I'm very fascinated still.
Do you have a favorite cuisine?
I can't say a particularly favorite one. I like many cuisines. There is none that I don't like. But obviously the Greek cuisine or the Italian, even the Middle Eastern Lebanese cuisine is more near to our programmed taste, as we say. And I like to experiment a lot. I mean, it's not easy to cook Chinese or Japanese, but I could experiment sometimes. But going back to the traveling, I like to say that going to places gives you a lot of inspiration to run back home and do your own. Even if you're the basic cook, restauranting gives you a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation to at least try your own things.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, I came back from Sri Lanka, and the next thing I did was the cooking a dal, cooking lentils. But it's not only. I know that from you. It's not only the chic places, and it's you like very rustic, very ordinary places.
Yes.
Because
I like places where the locals eat because it shows the true culture of the cuisine. It shows you the origins of the food and how people enjoy their local stuff. I like fancy places as well, but not as often as I like to explore and discover little places and more local places. For example, in Switzerland, it's very nice to go and find these fondue places, or every country have their own little secrets, as I say.
Yeah. Now you travel a lot, thanks to me, huh?
Yes. No, it's true. I do.
No, but you do, and you do prepare your trips very thoroughly. Do you literally know, if you go away for a week, do you know where you will eat
I like
every night, or
book most, but there is always a couple of nights free or a couple of lunches free, so I can always jump into places or bump into places that I haven't even heard of before. And that's the beauty of it. That's not planned. Sometimes turns out much better than the ones you plan and anticipate to go.
On the other hand, the places that you like to see are often fully booked long in advance, so you have to make a booking.
Provisionally you can plan ahead, and if you go, you go.
Yeah.
So it's.
Have you ever gone somewhere and thought, "Oh my God, now that was crap"?
Yes, it happened. Sometimes I even once walked out.
Yeah,
because I really couldn't take the false in it. But yes, it happened. It happened.
It happens.
Yes. Yes.
Now you travel. I know from a recent trip, Scotland.
Yes. Unexpectedly, Scotland.
Because we always say that the food in the UK is rubbish, but it's not.
No.
Excuse me, all my friends in the UK.
No, it's true.
We are now going to tell you that it's not.
Yes, it's a myth, as many myths. I mean, I remember going to Scotland, not expecting much, because I know that there were the obvious fancy places, the chain restaurants, and the good places that you could go to. But still, I wanted to find a more local touch by restaurant. And of course, in Edinburgh and in the Highlands, there are so many pubs and small places that you go and have fantastic food. And it was a very good surprise. I mean, Edinburgh has also nice places like the Witchery, which is like you step into Harry Potter and it's a restaurant. And the food is good. It's not as if places that go for just the food. It's the whole experience. Mm-hmm. Or in Paris, there's a place called Le Train Bleu, which is in the Gare du Nord. It's in a train station, and you walk in a train, a luxurious kind of Orient Express train. And it's a very, very fascinating to find unusual, bizarre places, dreamy places. So it's not always the food, it's the whole package.
I think there was a scene in Emily in Paris of that the Train Bleu. Yeah. So,
wow.
I want to come back to the cooking addict.
Mm-hmm.
You say you started in the UK because you had all this stuff available suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you also know you are also one of those people who can cook with little. You can cook simple.
Yes.
There is often a lot of magic in simple stuff.
Yes. Food it's a chemistry procedure which can sometimes be very elaborate, very complex, or very simple, basic, and that's where the Mediterranean element comes in. Being Greek, being Cypriot, focusing on the Mediterranean diet, the ingredients that are available, like the olive oil and the vegetables that we source. There's a lot of inspiration from the ingredients as well.
Yeah,
I can always open the fridge or go to the supermarket and look over a counter, and the food comes in mind. I imagine the food, I picture it, and then I go home and make it. And I try to make it taste good, as good as it looks.
That's amazing, because when you have it, you see, I do that with many things. Once it is constructed in my mind,
exactly,
then it's very easy.
And you're a good cook, I have to say.
Oh,
you're a very good traveler, amongst so many other things, but you are a good cook. We even make Cyprus food, which is amazing.
Well, I want to talk about that now. We're talking about, because there are a lot of very beautiful traditions in Cyprus.
Yes.
We could start chronologically, but we're not, because we are starting on Monday. This coming Monday is a day called Gafara Deftera, Green Monday. Yes. It's actually today, Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. I'm Catholic.
Oh, right.
We do not eat. I don't know if we don't eat anything from the animal, but we definitely don't eat meat on that day.
Okay.
But on Green Monday, Gafara Deftera in Cyprus, what do we do?
We're supposed to start fasting until the Easter Sunday. It's a 40-day period where you cut off the meat and dairy products, anything to do with animals and everything. Just go green. Eat vegetables, things not deriving from animals or any dairy products. I have to say, I'm very traditional while cooking, or trying to maintain traditional recipes, maintain the customs always, but I am not a blind follower of traditions. I mean, I do fast sometimes, but not always. And what I do is encourage people to follow their own path in cooking. It doesn't have to be so structured. It can be a traditional recipe, but you can always transform it, touch it, or make it your own. So you don't have to always follow the cliche.
I agree. I think it's a lot to do, obviously, with religion, and it's religion that tells you what you're supposed to eat. But you can be flexible.
No, not anymore. People of that.
I think God is also cooking a little different than
yes,
he used to.
And yes, of what we're eating.
Yes,
during Lent.
And then we have Easter. There's another tradition here in Cyprus, because once you have fasted for 40 days, then you have to break that fast. What do you break it with?
Well, supposedly you break it with a soup, which is called magritsa. It's a kind of avgolemoni soup, egg and lemon cooked with lamb as a base for the broth. And it's the way to introduce you back to meat eating gradually. And then you start eating the lamb, obviously, and all these Greek customs that we have here as well about Eastern food.
Now, you mentioned the word avgolemoni, which is the base really for this magritsa. Yes. But avgolemoni for me is also medicine.
It is.
When you have a cold, when you are down.
Yes. Avgolemoni is a culture.
Yes.
It's a grandma's recipe, always coming down to generations. And in addition to what you just mentioned, it's a welcoming soup. So anybody used to travel, the night you go back home, there was an avgolemoni soup waiting for you to welcome you home. So it's a very homely soup. It's a signature soup for as well as medication and comforting. It's a welcoming soup as well.
It's a soup that warms your heart and your soul.
Exactly.
Now, Easter, what do we do? Different kinds, I guess. Most people, though, have lamb. Souvla.
It's traditional souvla.
Grilled meat, grilled lamb.
Yes, charcoal.
Yes, lamb. Yes.
It's traditions that we try to maintain and pass them on to generations, as with many of the Greek recipes that we like our children to remember and inherit and adapt to, because we don't want them to vanish. We don't want them to disappear.
No.
As much as in any other country, everybody respects their own recipes and they want them to be passed down to generations. So are we, and we try. I mean, in my food page, I try to incorporate as many Cypriot recipes as I can. I try to make them look chic and make them look very appealing and easy for the young people to grab it and make it and taste it.
And another tradition that we have is our eggs, our red eggs. We zum grisume, what's the word in English?
I don't know, just to crush the eggs.
Yes.
Make a wish.
Yes. So we need red eggs on Easter Day. And then there is another very important thing, which I have mastered, if I may say so. That's flavours.
Oh my God, that's hard. And you have mastered it.
It's not hard.
It's a savory kind of... I can't say it's a cake.
It's a cheese pie, really.
It's a cheese pie, but it's done in a very particular and very difficult way, I have to say. I don't know why the older generations torture themselves.
I don't think it's that difficult.
But it's not that difficult now because we have more ingredients. It's simplified. For example, the grated cheese, you can always buy the grated cheese ready grated, but the old ladies had to grate it themselves. But yes, flavours is a beautiful tradition, and the combination of mint and local cheeses and the baking them in wooden oven. It's a beautiful pie.
I feel that it wouldn't be Easter without flavours. I have to make them. And of course, my husband would not approve if I didn't make them.
Oh, they like it. And I did them once. I don't do them every year because usually we travel at Easter, but it's nice when it was the pandemic and we were stranded at home. I made so many things I thought I would never try to make. And one of them was flavours, and it was quite successful, I have to say.
Another beautiful tradition that we have is the 15th of August, when everybody gets together again. And again, grills meat, which I never understood because it's usually about 40 degrees. And
Yes, but I think in the old times, meat was a luxury. It was not something that we have every day. It was not a common thing to have in a household cooked every day. So when it was a feast, like the 15th of August or Eastern time or even Christmas and New Year, meat was the thing to have. It was the luxury of the party.
I didn't think of that,
Oh,
but
yes.
of course you are right.
Yes. Or a Sunday roast. Meat was once a week, a weekly habit.
Yeah.
It was not a very common thing to buy meat every day.
And another dish that I want to mention, because personally I love the Cypriot traditions and the Cypriot cuisine. And I think, as you said, it's very important that it doesn't get lost. It's important to keep traditions, because I think traditions are much more important than politics. You know, politics ruin the world. Traditions.
Yes. Oh, yes. We have to keep traditions. We have to project and maintain our cuisine. It's very important. It's our culture. It's our heritage. It's our label. It's our ID.
Yes.
You know, it's our picture.
And here in Cyprus, nothing happens without food.
Oh, yes. It's a very important part of a daily life. I mean, there are countries where they don't care much. They could just have dinner quickly and a quick lunch or snack.
No.
Cyprus, it's more, it's like a religion. Eating and cooking and the food is a very well respected aspect of a daily life.
It is. You can't go anywhere and not eat anything. I remember when I took Greek lessons, I had an hour twice a week. I used to go to this lady, Kyriakides, every time she had made, I don't know, she had made a dessert. I had to eat something. She would be insulted if I did.
It's the hospitality.
Yes.
Not as much as to feed you.
It's the beautiful.
She knew you wouldn't starve.
Yeah.
It was the gesture to satisfy you, to greet you, to welcome you. It's a hospitality sign.
It's true. And another last dish that I wanted to talk about is kleftiko.
Oh, yes. That is a very mysterious kind of origin food. It's supposed to be, the way it's cooked, wrapped and closed in a foil and parchment paper and cooked for hours. It's lamb pieces, well marinated and cooked for hours. And that's called kleftiko because kleftes are the thieves or the mountain people, the warriors, or they used to call them thieves, and they used to cook it and leave it there for hours, and then they would go back and find it ready to consume.
Yes, and they say that it was cooked underground.
Underground, yes. And they used to make pit holes in the soil and put charcoal, and
so the thieves wouldn't find it.
Or maybe that's another version.
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
There are many versions.
Yes.
This is one nice thing about food. There are so many approaches to a dish or to a recipe. When you read now, there's so much surplus of information with Google and AI. So you search, because I always search before I post something. I want to be sure it's correct. I don't pass on the wrong information or maybe steal some information to enhance my posts. So I read a lot before I post something. People think I just improvise, but no, I do really do a lot of.
Oh, I'm 100% sure that you do. I have no doubt.
Also, when I cook, I also cross-check many recipes and come back with my own. It's good to get the information and adapt it to your own abilities, your own preferences, and your own habits.
I also want to say that I think your husband, Haris, is a very lucky man because he gets to try. I see what you do and I think, who's going to eat that?
Right, yes. He doesn't think so much, but he does enjoy, obviously, many things. He's a very good griller. He has his charcoal grill and he thinks he's a master chef while grilling things, which is great. It makes us all happy in the family. He's the griller and I'm the cook. which is a fun combination.
Well, that's another story. The thing about this grilling and them thinking that they do nothing.
Of course, because
We prepare everything.
Yes.
I prepare all the skewers of meat. I put everything in those things. I make the salad. I make the potatoes.
Yes.
And I clean up. And all they do is literally put it on the fire.
Boast and turn it on and off. And but don't say more, because he will listen to the podcast.
I know. You are Hector and Paris. You are both heroes for doing all this grill work.
Really.
Now we're already very far in. The last item on that I have here is this food photography, and it makes me laugh because when we go out to eat with Christiana, we are never allowed to touch a dish that comes on the table before she has taken a picture of it.
It's a little bit of a rude habit.
It's not
and I apologize to all my friends and co-diners because I always do that. But it's fascinating. I love photography, and now with the means that we have, it's so easy to capture not necessarily the perfect picture of the dish, but some details of it or the essence of the food. And I like to combine food photography with my little articles, as I say, because I love literature. It's another passion of mine. And I combined all my passions in one Instagram page, a little bit of literature, a little bit of photography, a little bit of cooking, and of course, traveling. And it's true that my most memorable journeys, as the title of your podcast is, have to do with food and food destinations, food explorations. Of course, I do many other things while I'm traveling, but this is a very nice aspect of it. And I'm very proud when people come back to me and ask me. It makes me feel very proud and happy and very important when they ask me things like where to go. I'm going to the city for a few days. What do you recommend? And they appreciate my recommendations and they definitely go and try. And then they come back and they're happy, they're excited. And this passes on from one person to another. And it makes me very happy.
I think it should. And I think it should also, I mean, your Instagram is very beautiful. And I see when I read, it's not because my Instagram is rubbish because I just throw something out there and I write a phrase, but I can see that your texts are very well thought through. You collect the data and you put it together.
Yes, I want to pass on the right messages. I could do, like hundreds of stories or upload many things all the time. I just focus on the food. Everything in my Instagram page is not a personal thing. I rarely post myself or a photo of me unless I'm traveling and I have to show to people where I am and what I'm doing and where I'm heading to, which is interesting because it's more like a travel blog as well. It's not only a food blog, it's a travel blog. And traveling, people do travel a lot. And they now with the budget airlines and so many interesting destinations, people do travel and want advice and want to have not influence, but a good guidance.
Yes, and they want to be a little sure that they go somewhere nice, not
somewhere tried and tested.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are already nearly there. I think we have explored, because here's the word, restaurant explorer. We have explored all the possibilities, but I have one last question.
Yes.
What would be your dream journey, the dream food journey? Is there something that you're maybe thinking of or that maybe not, maybe there isn't?
Oh, there are many, many places. I haven't thought about it as a single answer, a single destination, but for sure I would like to visit more faraway countries. And as you grow older, you put it more on the top of your bucket list. More countries like, of course, Asian countries where the food is amazing, or even African countries, and perhaps even North American countries like Canada and places that I haven't been there yet. And I am sure that there are so many interesting places and street food, which is another passion of mine. Street food is great. Open air markets, places like that. I love to take photos and videos and explore the little counters and all the secret ingredients, things that you don't find in the supermarkets.
And I think just watching markets without even having, when you travel, you don't cook, but just going to see what is available.
It's very frustrating, I have to say.
Yeah, you want to buy everything you see.
But you can't.
Yes.
But parallel to the frustrating part is inspirational. So you come back and you're full of experience, full of inspiration, full of beautiful culinary memories. And traveling is the most amazing way to collect information, to collect memories and experiences regarding food.
And I think it's also getting people together, no matter where you're from, no matter what, eating together is a ceremonial thing. I think it doesn't, it just, food connects people.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. Food is a destination in itself.
Yes.
It's a journey and a destination. And I'm very glad to take up these journeys.
Beautiful. I think we're done. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, I just want to tell you how wonderful it is that you're doing these podcasts. And I encourage everybody to listen to them because you collect so many precious information and you're projecting it to your audience. It's important to communicate and it's very easy for anyone to listen to your podcasts. Always very pleasant.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Christiana Sykopetritis Kyriakides.
Thank you.
My Chic Dish. Follow her Instagram because it's really worth it. If you enjoy my podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You will find all the information in the show notes.